Global warming is the reason. Sidhu is the reason. Hey friends, good morning. This is Sridhar here once again. This is our day 5 of our visit to Banff and Jasper National Park. Today we have pretty busy schedule. We'll drive towards the Jasper National Park, the town of Jasper. Visit one more glacier called Angel's Glacier Trail. Try to go on a canoeing at Pyramid Lake, and then wind up our day at Maligne Lake. So that's the plan for today. Let's see how it goes. Please do watch the complete video. I will share a lot of tips on how you can make your trip a very fruitful one. Till now it has been really good, a gorgeous day, definitely. So the weather has been very kind to us. It's very essential that you have good weather in this part of the Rocky Mountains. So please do stay tuned, and a lot more from my side. Okay, thank you. Okay, the Angel Glacier is off the popular highway, Highway 93, between Banff and Jasper. So from the top falls, you drive around 23 kilometers up towards the Jasper National Park. Taking an exit on Highway 93A and drive for about 19 kilometers. You will see a sign called Edith Cavell Road. So that takes you straight to the Angel Glacier Improvement District parking lot. So look for the signs, and you should be showing up pretty much soon at the Angel Glacier parking lot. So Angel Glacier is one of the glaciers which is pretty much accessible by road. From the parking lot, it's about a 20-25 minute walk to a viewpoint where you can see the enormous glacier and the melting water collecting in a small pond. So we plan to just go to the viewpoint, but when we reached that viewpoint, we had many people trek up to the pond where large chunks of ice was being falling. So we are recommended that it's totally worth it, the trek down to the pond itself. So we thought, okay, let's make sure we trek to the pond, and maybe once in a lifetime kind of a view we should be getting. So that was the overall plan. The images itself do not do the justice to the enormity of this glacier. So we took a trek down to the pretty much the basin where the melted water and chunks of ice was being collected. This was, again, as I said, never seen something like this. Right? Kids really enjoyed the chunks of ice falling. This is cold. A chunk of ice. Global warming. He's the reason. Sidhu is the reason. back to the parking after a wonderful time. The indication. A must visit. Sure, amazing. Climb up. Little tough, but totally worth it. So it was a pretty good trek to the basin of this glacier. Again, overall time taken from the parking lot, including the trek to the basin and back, and spending around 20-25 minutes at the basin itself. So about 3 hours round trip, but very it's not much elevated, so it should be pretty easy for anyone to take that hike. Next up, we went to the town of Jasper for our afternoon lunch. The idea was to break for lunch, go to Pyramid Lake where the kids could do some kayaking, and then from there to proceed to the Maligne Lake to visit to the Spirit Island. So that was the plan. The weather was pretty amazing, so very comfortable temperatures. So after our lunch, as we proceeded to the Pyramid Lake, we are lucky enough to see a black bear. Yep, that's a black bear in the backyard of people's home in Jasper. Looks like that's pretty normal over here. I did not see anybody panic, but it's quite a sight. Bear in the backyard. So we reached Lake Pyramid. So if you miss out on doing a kayaking on Lake Moraine or Lake Louis, I'd highly recommend Pyramid Lake. Not a pretty large lake, but reasonably sized. The water was a little choppy, but not unbearable. So we took the kayaks, spent about hour and a half kayaking in this beautiful lake surrounded by the Rocky Mountains. Kids had fun. Good afternoon break, doing some physical activity. After kayaking on the beautiful Pyramid Lake, next up was Maligne Lake. Drive to the ferry on the Maligne Lake to take us to the Spirit Island. As we drove through the Canadian Rockies, we did see the effect of climate change, forest fires, and to our surprise, we came to know these fires were almost dated 30 years back, so back in 1980s, and still you see there is no vegetation. So it was surprising. Effects of climate change. Next up, ferry to one of the most photographed place in Canada, Spirit Island. The only way to reach Spirit Island is through ferry, and it was surprise to see why this was the most photographed place in Canada. A relatively very small island, and some part of the winters it's not even an island. So it was a pretty good ride. It's about 20-25 minutes ride on the ferry to the Spirit Island. So that pretty much concluded the day for us. A very fruitful and a long day, but a very rewarding day. Visit to the Angel Glacier, Pyramid Lake, and Maligne Lake, to Spirit Island. Finally, we are back at Jasper. That's the Rocky Mountain Express, which takes you from Jasper to Vancouver through the beautiful Canadian Rockies. That concluded our overall day.